Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Proto, and today we're going to be going over the best budget gaming, streaming and editing PC. This build does come in a little over £500, but it's perfect for anyone looking to do more than just gaming. If you're not streaming or multitasking, I recommend you look at some of my other builds, which perform slightly better in games but don't perform as well in multitasking, such as streaming. So let's kick things off with the CPU. I've gone with the AMD FX-8350, which comes in at £133. The CPU has 8 cores, making it ideal for multitasking when you're playing games, streaming, recording, etc. The processor is clocked at 4.0 GHz, with a decent cooler like the one in our build, you can get around 4.5 to 5 GHz. This is just a beast of a CPU. As for this versus the Intel 4690K, the 4690K has better per core performance. This means that if you're just playing games or doing single threaded tasks, the Intel CPU will perform better, since the 8 cores in the 8350 aren't fully utilised. However, rendering and streaming can take advantage of all those 8 cores, so this AMD model will do much better. Because the CPU is an excellent overclocker, I have gone with an aftermarket cooler that isn't just a standard one. The budget doesn't really allow for water cooling and it's not really necessary, so what we've gone with is a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo, which costs £25. This is an awesome deal and can keep the CPU at good temps, since you could probably toast some bread with it otherwise. For the motherboard, we've gone with the Gigabyte GA970A DS3P ATX AM3 Plus motherboard. The Mobo costs £49, which is an awesome deal when you consider its great overclocking potential. I was looking at other ones such as the ASRock, MSI or Asus, but found that they either had something like a Windows 95 BIOS, making it a shitty overclocking utility, or had limited features. At this price point, you're getting features that the £100 Mobos have. That and Gigabyte's excellent track record makes it a beauty. It supports the most common form of DDR3 memory, being 1066, 1333, 1600, 1866 and 2000. It can also have up to 32 gigs of RAM, which is just overkill, supports RAID config and Crossfire but not SLI though, and has front USB 3.0 headers as well as 6 6GB per second SATA slots, meaning that you can have up to 6 internal hard drives, making upgrades to an SSD or other drives really easy. For RAM, we've gone with the Kingston HyperX Fury Black 8GB 2x4GB sticks, which are DDR3 1866 memory. I think at least in most of my builds I've recommended this. Why? It's because it's got fast speeds and it's just better than its competitors for the price. RAM speeds don't matter in games as much as you think, but they can impact rendering and stream latency. The only time where it's even noticeable though is when you're running an APU, which doesn't really cut it nowadays, except when you're on an extreme budget. These two 4GB sticks do come in at £35 though, which is pretty good. Onto the hard drive. As always, we've got the WD Caviar Blue 1TB 3.5 inch 7200 RPM internal hard drive. You guys should probably be familiar with this by now. It costs £39 and it's great for storing all your programs, media and files. And now for one of the main parts in this build. We've got the MSI GeForce GTX 960 4GB video card. This is different from the 2GB version, making it better for high resolutions and more demanding games like Shadow of Mordor that require more RAM. In terms of streaming, I doubt it'll make that much of a difference, but more VRAM is useful and never hurts. The card costs £190, which is £12 more expensive than the newly released R9 380, but the Nvidia features definitely help. Okay, so first off, it's 4GB of GDDR5 and has a base clock speed of 1.24 GHz. Since it runs on Maxwell architecture, you could probably overclock this to 1.4, pushing it a lot by 1.5 GHz. It has one DVI-D, one HDMI and 3 DisplayPort connections to 4K, even though that isn't really viable for one card. What this does mean is that you can run 4 monitors really easily. So our standard Nvidia features are pretty rich, but just to name a few that helps when you're streaming and editing, you have Shadowplay and CUDA. So Shadowplay allows you to record desktop and games capture from the H.26 encoder on your GPU. What that means is that you can record PC games with no performance loss that you'd otherwise have when using OBS to stream or DxTory to record. Shadowplay is literally a huge selling point if you want to record footage, as it has a shadow mode which is pretty much like the Elgato's flashback recording, and also has tons of other features that allows you to stream games as well. CUDA on the other hand basically takes the tasks off the processor and puts them onto the GPU. For example, Sony Vegas, Adobe and other applications benefit from this. This speeds up encoding, rendering, etc. AMD have OpenGL, but it isn't as widely supported. There's literally no point in me going over all the features because truth be told, there's tons. And even AMD have their counterparts if you decide to go with AMD over Nvidia. But check the description for more details. So with the video card over, we come into the case. For this I've gone with the Cooler Master K280 ATX mid-tower case. It retails at a very reasonable £30 and has all the features you could possibly need. It has room for 3 5.25 inch bays, for things like DVD drives and fan controllers, as well as one 3.5 inch bay. Taking a look inside, you have room for cable management round the back and also one 2.5-inch bay for an SSD, as well as 6 3.5-inch bays for your hard drives. As well as that, you also have front panel USB 3.0 ports, and at £30 it's great value for money and does everything you want it to. And lastly, we've got the power supply. For this, an EVGA 500W 80+ certified power supply will do just fine. Whilst the PSU isn't modular, meaning you can't remove any cables, you can hide them in the back of the case. We've also selected 500W, and that should be more than enough for our build. EVGA are known for their great PSUs, and this is no exception. So that's it guys, this has been the best budget, streaming, gaming and editing PC. If you have any suggestions, share them in the comments below, and thanks for sticking around. If you liked this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, you guys know what to do. As always guys, stay awesome, and this has been Proto, signing out. Peace!